Hey you, Scorpion player, stop doing all those YOLO teleports, risking everything on a gamble and probably getting blown up for it. So in this video, I'm going to teach you how to play the character in 5 minutes or less so that you can have the basics and the fundamentals so that you no longer have to risk it all on those YOLO teleports, but instead can play a nice, respectful, and efficient Scorpion game in your matches. Alright. My name is Drew, aka Booty Sweat. Welcome back to the channel. Let's get started with Scorpion in 5 minutes. 1-1 is a basic combo starter that is primarily going to be used as a punish combo starter, but it can be canceled into the teleport in order to get those good combos. It can also be finished with 1-1-2 in order to end combos and get good Oki situations. Back 1-4-3 is a 14 frame mid, which is hit confirmable into combo and safe on block. 2-1-2 is a high starting move that is primarily going to be used for ending combos because you can get a huge crushing blow with very nice damage at the end of a combo if you have a 10 hit combo or more. But if you just finish with 2-1, it is +2 on block, and if you finish the 2-1-2, then it is +7 on block. However, keep in mind that this is extremely flawless blockable and very punishable. Forward 3 is by far one of Scorpion's best tools. It's this little kick here. You can use it to stagger for days. It's a relatively fast 13 frame mid that is safe on block and can lead to additional forward 3 or down pokes or throws or really whatever you want. You can also cancel this into the Hellport if you are starting to get a feel for your opponent and you think they're going to try and challenge and you get that stagger hit. You can cancel this into Hellport for some really nice combo damage. Try your best not to do this though unless you're really sure your opponent is going to take the bait, otherwise you'll just end up with a YOLO teleport and get blown up hard for it. Back 3 is a slow overhead with very good range that you can use for mix-up potentials and is also Scorpion's armor breaker. Consider throwing this in every once in a while when you've conditioned your opponent to block low with Scorpion's forward 4 starter, which we're going to talk about here in just a moment. Forward 4-2-3 is a low starter string that is hit confirmable into a full combo. More or less safe on block. It is technically punishable by some moves, but very, very difficult to do so. Keep in mind, however, it can be flawless block on the second hit. So just keep that in mind when you use it. If you're playing a good opponent and they read it very well, then they can flawless block punish you for it. Okay, so let's quickly move on to Scorpion's special moves. We have, for this custom variation, equipped Blade Spin with Misery Blade. Now, I'm not saying that this is the best custom variation of all time, and really, Scorpion has really good normal tournament variations anyways, so you don't even have to use a custom variation if you don't want. But I think that Misery Blade is a really, really good tool for new players to use in order to stay safe and get some decent mix-ups with Scorpion, as well as the Blade Spin, which is a really nice anti-air, but we'll talk about those specifically here in a moment. The first thing that I want to talk about is the Hellport. So the Hellport is Scorpion's teleport. Now you can do this on the ground or in the air, but you need to keep in mind that this move is extremely punishable on block. Even when amplified, it's extremely punishable on block. Throwing out random teleports throughout the match is going to get you killed against anyone who knows what they're doing. So make sure you do not form the habit of just throwing out random teleports at random times. People who are used to fighting Scorpion are going to be looking for you to do that, and they're going to kill you for it. So instead, you primarily want to use Hellport as an anti-zoning tool. If you see your opponent is about to throw a projectile, if your opponent has jumped, then you can use it, the air version, all kinds of different stuff. But you never want to just throw it out in neutral willy-nilly. Keep in mind that you also can use it as your primary combo launcher. So it's going to be how you primarily get most of your good combo damage. Moving on to Scorpion Spear, this is a long-range move that Scorpion can throw out, which of course it's the iconic Scorpion move. Everyone knows how it works at this point. He throws it out and brings the opponent close to him. Now in this game, he automatically does this little slash move, which switches sides, unless you amplify, which will keep them on the same side and restand them for additional combo damage. Now you probably could tell just from looking at it, but it is very, very punishable on block, so do not use it up close, but you can throw it out at most long ranges because it is very, very difficult to punish unless your opponent has some kind of teleport. Consider throwing it out at long distance because it can catch certain opponents trying to move around the screen, and if you do, then you can amplify into a nice combo. Moving on to Blade Spin, it's pretty simple how it works. It's down forward 4 and it hits at a pretty good range, and it's just this move where Scorpion puts this spin out. You've probably seen it before. The reason why I think it's good for a beginner to equip is because it's an excellent anti-air tool and it's virtually safe at long ranges. So you don't really want to be amplifying it very often, but you can throw it out at certain ranges like this, and even on block it will be pretty safe because of the distance. It's not always going to be safe. There are some characters that can punish, but it's going to be very difficult. And if you throw it out in neutral and your opponent likes to jump a lot, it is a very, very good anti-air because of the huge hitbox. And finally, I quickly want to go over Misery Blade. Misery Blade is an excellent stance move that takes a little bit of time to get used to, but can be very, very good for keeping you safe, continuing stagger pressure, and doing lots of mix-ups. So Misery Blade is done by doing down back 1, and it puts Scorpion into this stance. And from that stance, you can either press 1 to cancel, using 1 defensive meter. You can press 2 for an overhead. You can press 3 for a quick little jab move, or you can press 4 for a sweeping low. So this can be good for mixing up the opponent by throwing in extra overheads and lows that they might not be expecting. For example, you could mix it into the end of forward 4-2. As a result, you would end up with something like maybe a low overhead, low mix-up. Do keep in mind, however, that the overhead and the low used in this stance are very, very unsafe on block. However, the best one of these, in my opinion, is the little jab move that you can do, because you can use this again to stagger your opponent. If they are blocking your staggers, then you can throw this out and delay it and continue your stagger pressure. It's just overall a very, very good move that gives you a lot of options with Scorpion in terms of his stagger pressure, keeping yourself safe, and keeping your opponent mixed up. So very quickly, I want to talk about the overall game plan that you're going to be using with Scorpion. He's overall a very simple character and has a pretty basic game plan. It's going to be comprised of 4 main points. The first is that you want to punish with 1-1 into teleport. The second point is that you want to stagger for days with forward 3, back 1-4-3, 2-1 or 2-1-2, and your Misery Blade options. Third point is you want to throw out Spear at long ranges when your opponent might not be expecting it, say when they're walking around on the screen or walking backwards, in order to possibly get some nice cheeky combos. And finally, mix your opponent up with back 3, which is an overhead, and forward 4, which is a low. And that's pretty much going to do it for Scorpion. He's a pretty simple character to play. Basically, you just need to remember stagger, 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 throws, 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 and confirm into a Hellport for big combo damage. And luckily Hellport is, luckily most of Scorpion's strings are very hit confirmable, so this shouldn't be too hard for you to do. Alright, I'm going to cut to some example bread and butter combos that you can use when playing as Scorpion, but that's going to do it for the basic guide. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Be blessed.